Yo, welcome to Always Ascending Academy. You are tapping in to the root of the symmetry and tuning in to the mind of Mercury so that we can get into the actual spiritual and subconscious details, the deeper meaning, the cosmic truth as to what the soul actually is. What is the soul? I'm your author, your always ascending authority, Clarence Calloway, and I am excited to speak with you about your soul. We are about to get into what your soul actually is. What is a soul, the soul, your soul? The whole wisdom of this video is just understanding what a soul is. This is the one video that I am creating to explicitly address what a soul is. I mean, so many of my other things, I throw out the word. So this is me actually getting into what a soul is. In all religions, all simulations, in all circumstances, you can know what a soul is, and you can see how the soul connects the body to the spirit, because that is what we're talking about. The soul being the connection between your space and your structure. Your space is you observing the structure, and then your structure allows you as the observer to experience your space with other spaces. And now we have the rest of life. So here we are. Let's get into it. So let's get one thing straight. Everyone has a soul. If you, as an individual space, are aware of your emotions and no one can tell you how you're feeling but yourself, then welcome to the universe. You have a soul. If you did not have a soul, it would literally not be vibrationally possible for you to experience life inside of the universe. If you did not have a soul, it would literally be impossible for you to feel emotionally connected to anyone or anything outside of your own space. If you did not have a soul, you literally would not be able to hold on to memories and continue to build upon the memories that you are holding on to, not just from this life, but from past lives. I remember things from my past lives, and I can separate my mind from my body to go back into my space and communicate with myself about my past lives. That's my soul. No one can see my past lives. No one knows what I've done in the past to get up to this point except me. Just like no one knows what you've been doing your whole life or how you spend time alone except you. That's your soul, your connection with yourself that is completely invisible to all spirits outside of your space. Think of your soul as your cosmic memory. And your cosmic memory, this cosmic memory bank, this womb that gives life to your mind, the whole point of this womb is that it is absorbing all of the egotistic expressions that you project out. So everything that you've ever projected out from the past, everything that you've done as a spirit, all the light that you've projected out to express your ideas, come back into your space. You reflect upon your actions, and that's your soul. This is why only you truly know what you've done. Like, literally, this is the whole thing. Like, you can project out actions throughout your whole life, but only you, as a spirit with your own soul, can see how all of your actions are connected. Only you can see how all of your actions are connected. Anyone outside of you, they can't see how one body that you have is connected to another body because they look completely separate. They're in completely different points of time. They might as well be separate individuals. So this is what a soul is. The soul is literally you knowing that your connection with yourself can only be communicated by you. No one else knows who you are. No one else knows how you feel. No one else knows how you think. No one else knows what you imagine. No one else dreams the same dreams that you dream. No one else even conducts relationships or speaks exactly the same way that you do, because your soul is your unique vibration that makes all of your life matter. Everything that you ever do in your life is only going to matter. It's only going to earth. It's only going to have stability in your mind because of your water, because your soul feels connected. Your brain feels like bringing rain to all these things, all these circumstances, all this dirt that you feel like you would like to see life in. So then that's all of your whole your whole time in the universe, like not just this life but all lifetimes. Are you expanding your soul? Your soul is literally your water, your cosmic memory, and your memory is always expanding based on how you create memories. Aren't you doing this every day? Don't you create memories every day and feel like you expand as a soul, or just expand as an individual? You feel like you become smarter over the course of your life. The whole point is your memories are your emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is the ultimate intelligence throughout all of the universe. The universe itself is emotional. So when you have emotional intelligence, you can navigate any situation, you can navigate any circumstance. And the whole point of knowing that you have a soul is knowing that the way that you navigate the world you're in is going to be unique to your ego. Your ego created your soul to connect with other egos. So no one can tell you how you're supposed to connect with the world. Only your ego can tell you. And then that's the idea of water fasting, to connect directly to God, because God is going to speak to you through your ego. And then that's where now, once God is speaking to you through your ego, your soul can actually feel connected with whatever ideas are being projected into your space, right? But it's you talking to yourself. It's just that when you're living life as a body right now, you feel like you're the creation, because this body, this structure was created by space. So when you know that your space is the creator and your body as a structure is the creation, this is where you know that your soul is that invisible connection which allows your space to make your structure matter. So your structure is earth, but it wouldn't matter without water. But water doesn't exist. You can't see water. You can't see my soul. This is why your soul is not showing. No one can see your soul. No one can see your soul except you. Like, if Anubis comes into the simulation again, let's say literally my dog, my best friend, my twin flame Anubis, he comes back into this world and he makes another dog body. No one, no matter how psychic they may think that they are, if they really feel like, oh, I can see your soul, no one's going to look at that dog and know that that dog is Anubis. Furthermore, no one's going to be able to look at him and see his past lives. Only the spirit that built this structure that looks like a dog knows how it is connecting with the universe. And you would have to be intelligent enough to be able to communicate with it, to actually connect with it in the way that it's connecting with itself. But that's the wisdom, okay? Understand that your soul is your connection with yourself. So all of your life is you learning how to connect with yourself in a way that's more productive, right? You're turning your water into earth. You're learning how to connect with yourself in a way that allows you to actually build something. Because that's the whole point. Space wants to create a structure that it can transform into a simulation. And that's all of life. So now we're all transforming simulations. And that allows our consciousness to connect in a more conscious way, right? Here we are. So the whole point of you knowing that you have a soul is knowing that you are consenting to connecting with spaces outside of yourself. And in order to do that, you've built a structure with spaces outside of yourself. And this is the power of water. Water is the physical representation of how all of our souls are choosing to connect so we can build something stable. All the lights you've ever connected with and reflected upon are inside of your spirit, inside of your space. But of course, you as a spirit, you would be intelligent enough to know that you are not the structure that you're using to absorb these experiences. You are not the structure that you're using to absorb these memories and to hold on to these ideas and to create these connections. So this is the difference of a spirit and a soul. You as a spirit know that you are not the structure that you are using to connect with others. And your soul is what makes your body matter. So that is your first structure, your emotional body that allows you to interact with physical reality. So if anyone's trying to tell you that your soul is showing, they're really just self-reflecting onto you, and they're just trying to say that they want to see your soul, but they fundamentally can't look at you and tell you about your past lives. They fundamentally can't look at you and tell you how you're feeling or tell you what you're thinking about. Now, if they really want to, this would be someone who really wants to be psychic. And then this, they're just striving to be aware of what's going on inside of your space, regardless of you being aware of that or just anything. And then whatever. The whole wisdom is knowing that they're just going to self reflect, because now you would have to ask them, okay, well, how am I feeling? And 100 times out of 100 times, they're going to talk about themselves, because everyone is limited by their own awareness. So if you're aware that you're going through feelings that other people are not aware of, then if they're telling you that your soul is showing and that they can see your emotions, you know that they're bullshitting. You know that they're lying, not to you, but to themselves, which turns into lying to you, because people connect with you the way that they connect with themselves. So if someone's saying that they can see your emotions and they're saying that to themselves, then yeah, they're lying to themselves. They literally can't see your emotions, because the moment you ask them, how am I feeling, they're going to be wrong. They're not going to be aware of the same feelings that you're aware of. Like, no one's going to be able to look at your body and know who you're related with. No one's going to look at your body, the structure that you built, and know how it connects with all the other structures in the universe. These connections are invisible. That's the Spider-Man essence of life. That's the vibration. That's the Gemini essence of life. That's the cosmic 8, the cosmic weight. All right, so the vibration connects all structures. The vibration is what makes all structures matter. But you cannot see the vibration. You can't see my feelings. You can't see how I've connected with myself or my space or anyone up to this point. All you can see is this body that I've made. And now you're building a relationship with this body by talking to yourself. And the way that you talk to yourself is going to be a representation of how you connect with your own ideas. But your ability to perceive what I'm saying is only based in me projecting out. So now, because I'm projecting out ideas through a language that we both decided to connect to, you can choose to reflect upon the ideas that I'm projecting out. But it's all still you building a relationship with structures outside of yourself. So all these structures outside of yourself only matter because of your soul, right? This is why a black person can be really offended by the N-word one year, but then the next year their soul develops and they detach from that word. And now when someone says it, they don't even get that offended because their soul isn't super connected with that word, right? This is the point. You can't see how someone connects with words. You can't see how someone connects with language. You can't see how someone's connecting with the movie. You have to literally ask them, hey, what did you think about this movie? What did you think about this story? And now they, as a spirit, have to internally process their own emotions. And they have to be able to communicate them through a structure that you're also connected to, so that it even makes sense for them to express themselves. Otherwise, most people just aren't going to express their emotions, because emotions don't make sense. Structures make sense, right? So when you know that you built this body to make sense, so many emotions in your soul are cycling that don't make sense to communicate, that you just have to know this. Like, I'm just giving you, like, this is emotional intelligence straight from symmetry. All right, straight from Hermes Trismegistus. Okay, letting you know how the soul works and the difference between the spirit, the soul, and the body. Your spirit is your space, that's nothing. Your soul is your water, that's your memory. And your body is your earth. That's the structure that's operating off of your memory. No scientist can tell you that you're not using memory to build a body right now. Your entire life is building memories every day. It's literally not possible to build a relationship with a language if you're not building memories. So that's your soul. Your ability to connect with light, with ideas outside of yourself, is literally your soul. And you're only ever going to be able to connect with others as far as you can connect with yourself. This is why projection is perception, and be wise to know that no one can actually perceive you outside of yourself. So if someone's going to tell you that your soul is showing, they're just saying that they want to see who you are. That's all. And then they're just like really trying to listen to you say who you are, but they're never going to see how you've connected with space up to that point. That would mean that they could see all your past lives, which no one's going to be able to do. Like, no one's going to look at you and see your past lives. Now, that's a fun superpower to imagine. So I'm open to people wanting to be able to do that. Until we have proof of that, okay, until people are actively doing that, um, that's not how the soul works. The whole point of you building a body as a spirit is that you're choosing to relate in a grounded way. So it's not very grounded for someone to look at me and be able to see my past lives. Now, if they can, look, that's soul magic. So whoever can look at me and see my past lives, that would be someone who's like really in tune with their spirit, and their spirit is so in tune with my spirit that they can see me beyond this body. But that's not really the point of physical reality. Okay, so this is elemental. I'm grounding it very hard with the elements here. Okay, understand that water is internal and your body is external. So your body is always showing how your soul is flowing. No one can see a flow. You feel a flow. You see the show. The show only matters because of the flow, right? So when you look at a show is a bunch of flows coming together, a bunch of movements, right? A bunch of emotions into one structure, because emotions only make sense in a body. This body makes sense because all my emotions are being channeled through it in a way that can build something. That's the point of having a heart and a brain and lungs and like intestines, and I have bones, and I can have many different feelings inside of my body. I can have many different emotions, and I can observe how if I sit in one emotion long enough, it literally changes the chemistry of my body. I can raise my heart rate. I can lower my heart rate. I can raise my blood pressure. I can lower my blood pressure. I can get a boner, right? I can not get a boner. Like, it's all blood flow. And your blood flow is literally responding to your soul. You see, we can't avoid this. This is literally true science right here. All right, welcome to Always Ascending Academy. Okay, so your soul is the vibration that makes your blood matter, and your blood manipulates your body. So now your mind can matter. So this is you able to see how you use your soul. You use water to make earth. Your blood is the water that is directly connected to your heartbeat, which is your vibration. And your blood can only matter and flow because of your vibration. That's your heartbeat. And thus, this is why you can move the body that your blood is connected to. Because the whole point of making this body was so that you could bring life to your emotions. You can make your emotions reality. So now we all have real emotions together, right? We're all humans. Now we all can feel things, and we can talk about our feelings, and we can build structures based on how we should feel just in these feelings, and how we all have certain unalienable rights, right? That word's always been hard. Hilarious. Unalienable rights, right? The whole point is all of us as spirits literally subconsciously knowing in our souls that we are here to connect in a fair and balanced way. The ego just always gets in a way and separates things and creates religions and governments and structures that cause division instead of connection, because the ego is focused so hard on literally separation and being seen as a certain thing. So then this is where you get people who are like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, we're all connected, but I want to be seen as this. And I only resonate with people who want to be seen as white. So anyone who doesn't agree to be seen as white, I hate you. We all hate you, and we're going to build a society out of raping and murdering you. And now you get America, right? Now you get Europe, you get basically the whole New World Order banking system that is taken over everyone's lives, seemingly, and erased indigenous peoples in a massive degree. So now we're all speaking the language that was given to us. I, as an indigenous man, am not speaking the language that my family made up. I'm speaking the language that was created to steal me from my history. So it's important that I know about my soul. And it's important to me that I know that I actually chose to be born into these circumstances. Because this world is so messed up. there's no way that I would just like want to be here happenstantially to build a life. So my journey, my connection with myself is literally knowing that as Chase Calloway, I was called away from my space of Mercury to build the symmetry. And the symmetry is me bringing Mercury to Earth so that we can all stop climate change through basic spiritual wisdom. Like, once you comprehend everything that I'm doing here in Always Ascending Academy, it's not hard to reverse climate change, because climate change is it's a huge issue that we are all contributing to through the ignorance of supporting genocide, murder, and people who only want to consume. So this is why I teach fasting. Fasting is essential. I literally started fasting way back in college because I was very passionate, not about spirituality, but science. Literally, way before spirituality, way before this soul stuff. I was talking, now look, the soul is your subconscious mind. So I was talking to Irisel, my spirit, through my subconscious mind. And then Irisel led me to water fast, and then that's where I learned that that was my soul. And then this is all the vibration. And then that's my connection to my cosmic memory, my water, that is actually making this body real. So now my water can be channeled through my brain, and now my brain can bring rain to this dry earth. And now I'm creating life with all the cells inside of this otherwise dead body, right? But if I stop bringing my emotions through my brain into this body will stop being animated. It'll stop beating a heart. It'll be dead, and it won't matter to the people in my life anymore, because no one cares about this physical body. People care about my spirit. People care about my soul, right? People care about my mind and my ego. People care about your body because the body is what allows you to connect. But you're not just trying to connect with bodies. Obviously, the whole point of connecting with any body is to connect with their spirit. Okay? To connect with their spirit. To connect with their space. And that's the constant chase of all relationships, because you'll never actually be able to connect with a space outside of yourself. So this is then where you get lifetimes after lifetimes of building relationships with the spirits that you want to connect with by building all these different kinds of structures. So now two of the same spirits can relate through one structure, and then they can relate through a different kind of structure and a different kind of structure. And these would be two spirits building their relationships through time and space. That'd be like twin flames or like soulmates, where they can explore different dynamics together. And this is all about connection. It's all about our souls. Your soul is literally the structure that your space built to connect with other spaces. But really, your soul is a structure that your space built to connect with yourself. Your soul is a structure that your space built to connect with itself. Your body is a structure that your space built to connect with other spaces. When you connect with other spaces, you had to have a structure built from connecting with yourself first. That's what an emotion is. So if you didn't have a feeling, then you're not going to be able to channel that feeling into something, literally. And then that something's not going to exist. This is why all things vibrate. All matter, all earth is vibrating. It's energy vibrating at a certain frequency. Everything is emotional. So this is where, when you know that your soul is your vibration that makes all of your earth matter, you now have way better control over how you are choosing to connect with any idea that pops up in your space and any idea that is outside of your space. And now you have a way more power, like infinitely more power over your own emotions. And your emotions are your power. Your emotions are literally your ability to move, to actually bring energetic motion into any single thing. So it's essential that you are actually emotionally intelligent, or else your life just won't make sense. You know, like hella people out here in the world have lives that don't make sense. And it's because they never learned actual, real, spiritual, emotional intelligence. So this is why your spirit built a soul connecting with itself, and then it builds a body connecting with others. It's just that the first body that your spirit then builds to connect with others is your soul, because none of your bodies would matter without your soul. and your soul is focused on connecting with others. That's why the soul cares about connections in general, and why no matter what religion or system you're in, you care about family and friends. In general, F energy. Okay, it's all about fornication, fun, the fundamental fact that life is a bunch of fucking. I'm just saying, it's all about sex, right? So when you know that you as a spirit created your soul from having sex with yourself, now you can see why your soul naturally wants to have sex with others. And you can see this in all animals. Like without religion, this is basic spirituality. You see how all nature wants to have sex. Like if an animal is alive, it wants to find a partner that it can have sex with so that it can create more life. Because it literally created its own life, it created its own soul by having sex with itself. And then this is the wisdom of knowing that we're all masculine and feminine internally. We all have our man and woman internally, so that we're all actually children of God, aka we're all cosmic forms of consciousness, colorful consciousnesses, communicating with each other to build our ideas of heaven inside of the hell that we are manifesting right now. Because hell is just the fact that you're not in control of a space outside of yourself. So you're always going to be in hell when you're connecting with spaces outside of yourself because you're not in control of them. Heaven is only when you're alone. Like you can only truly be in heaven when you're alone, because that's when you're actually in full control of your environment. That's when you can actually control everything inside of your space because you're alone in your space. Hell is what happens when you realize that you have to share your idea of heaven with other spirits if you don't want to be alone with yourself. So you naturally go into hell because this is the natural thing of life. We have to relate our individuality through structures that actually compromise our individuality. So it's this catch-22 type deal. When you as a spirit are like, I want to show others I'm an individual, so I'm going to look like them so that I can connect with them on their level, right? Like, you see that? So your soul represents how your space connects with itself. Your body, which exists inside of the universe, represents how your space connects with spaces outside of yourself. It is literally impossible to connect with other souls in the universe if you do not have your own soul. This is literally where the idea of a soul group comes in. Your soul is your vibration, and your soul group is your matter. So literally, think about your body as your actual soul group, and your soul is the vibration that makes your soul group matter. So your body as your soul group is literally all these cells that are supporting your vision so much that they are agreeing to build a structure that you can manipulate and use however you want. And now you can use your emotions, you can use your soul to connect with other souls through this structure that other spirits are using their souls to connect through. And this is how all of us as spaces create bodies within bodies based on our awareness of being spaces within spaces. And then this is the natural evolution of spirituality. As you grow bigger as a soul, as your space can handle making more connections, this naturally leads to you being a human right now. Because now you can handle a more complex body than a bacteria, right? Or like just some organelle. Or if you're even like just a heart cell, right? Like you're handling this whole body subconsciously because your soul is able to connect in that complex way. But that's all muscle memory. Okay, so these are your past lives. You literally had to live lifetimes to even have the muscle memory to be able to manipulate this matter in a way that makes sense. Okay, objectively. So your soul is eternal. You can't run away from your feeling. Your feeling is what makes you run. So if you as an individual want to build your own soul group, your own functional family in the external universe, then you first have to connect with yourself so that you can build a beautiful body, a soul in your internal universe. Otherwise, you're not even going to be able to create the circumstances where you can connect with individuals outside of yourself. Hence, this is why everyone that you connect with through a body, especially, the whole point is we have to connect our souls through these bodies. So everyone that you connect with through the body, through a simulation, is really using your body to connect with themselves. This is why you never know what people are thinking about you, yet that's what molds your life, right? You can never know what people are thinking about you, yet that's literally what dictates how your environment is going to react to you. So this is like the balance, right? This is what we all experience as minds. We all have to think about how other people think about us. And then that's the spectrum of how much do you care about what other people think of you versus not at all. If you literally don't care about what other people think of you, you're someone who's supposed to be really cool. You don't give a fuck. But let's take that to the actual extreme. You're now homeless, or you're someone who doesn't care about smelling good. You're someone who doesn't want to be presentable. You're someone who doesn't care about like social norms or being polite to the cultural circumstances that you find yourself in, right? So that's very negative. But then on the other hand, if you really care what people think about you, then that's of course very negative, because I mean, you're not being an infinite individual. You're literally projecting your individuality onto others and then getting trapped further in the hell based on how everyone's been programmed to think about life up to that point. But break the programming, okay? Like, break the programming. Know that your flame cannot be tamed, okay? That's a message straight from Anubis. Your flame cannot be tamed. Your imagination, your ego cannot be tamed. You are always imagining something new, and no one can keep up with the new shit that you're imagining all the time. That's your ego. This is your future, right? This is why only you can see your future, because only you as a spirit are creating that future projection of everything that you want to see for yourself. And no one can keep up with that. Everyone is doing that for themselves. So this is where you know that with projection being perception, no one can perceive you past their own projections. Okay, so here I am on Mercury as Metatron. I'm able to see how everyone is in their ego in the universe. The whole universe is just spirits expressing their imagination through structures. So then this is where we would have to look at who built the structures and how are these structures connecting, because even though you're expressing your imagination, if you're not conscious of the language that you're speaking, if you're not conscious of how your individuality is connecting to the structure that you are choosing to embody, that you're choosing to bring life into, then you're gonna waste a lot of time. You're gonna have a bunch of misses with your relationships. You're gonna have a bunch of mistakes, right? A bunch of regrets, because literally you as a space, you don't feel like your soul is being properly translated into the earth. Your emotions, your feeling, your water is not being properly communicated into air, through air, into something that makes sense for everyone to stand on, right? Because that is a point of life. Like when you're here building a life, the earth of your life is you wanting to have a structure that stabilizes the way you want to connect with others, right? That's like having a home, literally. So we're talking about your heart being your home, and then how that manifests into everything that you build and everything you do on the outside. Your heart is your functional family, your soul group. Your soul is the vibration that is beating your heart. Your heart is your soul group, which is then why anyone that you actually connect with, it's all going to be based on the heart, literally. And how much do you feel in resonance with them in the heart? Objectively, like the whole point of the heart is that this is our Merkaba. Like this is the balance of our left brain and our right brain, our higher chakras and our lower chakras. So our heart is literally the balance point, the equilibrium point of where our spirits can bring our energies together and actually experience themselves in a way that makes sense. So this is the magic of the heart. It's just then that the heart being all up in the middle of the chest to emanate the energy, we as spirits want to be aware through the brain. So then this is why we have the brain, we have our ego, the fire goes up, the water goes down. So you create life from your water, your genitals, but then you express life, right, from your mind. And then that's you being able to see and everything as well. So just understand that nothing is a coincidence, okay? Your soul is the vibration that allows your body to fundamentally move, and thus it's the vibration that allows you to feel connected with any friend or family member or foe or any single individual that you have ever interacted with. It's all about you having your own soul and you having your own emotions that allow you to express your ego with other egos, which is why the whole universe is water based. And that's where the universe is really all about finding your soul group, your external soul group. Your real soul group is already your body. But the universe, of course, all of life is you figuring out how can you connect with spirits through these structures to feel understood and to feel like you're all able to vibe and feel like you're all able to truly comprehend one another. And then that's where, I mean, that's romance. That's the whole idea of just going throughout your entire life in all the cosmos to connect with individuals that you've never met before, right? Because you don't know what spaces outside of yourself are doing. So you have to actively go out into the universe to interact with spaces outside of yourself, but that's only ever going to be possible when you know that you have a soul. So this was my quick video, whatever quick means to you, on what the soul actually is, okay? The difference between the spirit, the space, the soul, which is the memory, and the body, which is a structure, okay? Your body is always functioning off of memory. Your memory is the soul that represents how the space was connecting with itself. So when you as a space are connecting with yourself, you create a soul, and then that soul can connect with others through structures that we call bodies. So if you would like to learn more, then join us in Always Ascending Academy. All right, chaseyourgenes.com. We can get you super healthy, okay? Because water fasting is going to upgrade your functional family like that. When you understand that your body is literally already a full family of beautiful, loving individuals that want to support you, then this is where you would get way more excited to water fast. You would get way more excited to use water, literally, to cleanse your temple and allow your dreams to be manifested through your genes. Much love to you. Peace. Yeah.